Hello there and welcome to the program once again. Today we've pitched tent in Texas, USA, and this is what is coming up on the show.
Here in US, for you to qualify to even rent a place, they need you to have rental history.
Today on Daring Abroad, how Houston-based realtor Elsa Kiprotich is taking Texas by storm as she launches more services in the US.
We are growing our services to incorporate helping nurses who are relocating, not only nurses, but people in different professions who are relocating to come here to the US.
This as Kenyans in Texas worship the African way at Ushindi International Fellowship Church.
Being away from home, this facility brings us together as a community so that we can teach our children the value of where we have come from.
Great, that's what we have for you on the show. Lots of inspiration to come, and we begin with the story of Elsa Kiprotich, who has dared her way into the real estate sector in Houston. Well, you've been hearing about Elsa Kiprotich. Yes, we featured her before on our online platforms. Elsa is a big name when it comes to real estate in Texas, USA. Elsa, nice to meet you again.
Nice to meet you, Alex. Karibu sana.
Yeah, asante sana. It's been a while, but we've kept communicating. And Elsa has gone big helping people who are relocating to Texas. They may be from Kenya or any other country. And we attended her launch when she was telling us more about helping people relocating to Texas. So let's begin there, Elsa. Exactly what is this new initiative about?
So since we met last time, we've been able to grow our company, which is H-Town Royal Group.
Well done.
We are growing our services to incorporate helping nurses who are relocating, not only nurses, but people in different professions who are relocating to come here to the US, because I realized there's a huge need to help those people bridge the gap. Here in US, for you to qualify to even rent a place, they need you to have rental history, they need credit score, and when you're relocating here, you don't have any of that. So I found out that these people go through hell for them to be able to find a place to rent. I've met people who have lived in hotels for 2 months, and remember, they have kids. Kids need to go to school. So I sat down and I was like, why do these people have to go through these difficulties when I am in real estate and I deal with everything for housing? So that's why I decided to launch H-Town Royal Group and to help those people who are relocating.
Oh, join me in this song. Come on now. Hey.
This is my family here, my dad and my mom. They came over to visit for the first time, and it's really a wonderful pleasure to have them present here for this launch. For the success of our H-Town Royal Group, you know it starts with family. So thank you so much.
Now tell us more about H-Town Royal Group. We attended your launch. It was fantastic. What were you doing exactly on that day?
H-Town Royal Group launch, we were expanding our services to cater for the nurses who are relocating and to introduce the mentorship program to our community. We realized that there's a lot of need for people to know what else they can do besides what they are doing already. So if a lot of people are in medical field and they want to venture out to something else, they want to have a career change, that's what we are all about.
You've said you need like credit history. You need to have been around to get a house easily. But then for those who are just new, so how exactly are you helping them? Because they don't have that already.
So what we do, we work with the nursing agencies. What they do, they give us a letter showing that they're going to be starting work at this place, and this is their start date. It shows how much they're going to be earning, because of course for them to approve you to rent a place, you gotta show some income. So we work with them, they provide us the documentation that is required, and we go in with our name now to the apartment people or single family residential maybe we're working with. a specific individual who has house to rent, investors who has houses to rent, and we present to them and say, this is an application for a nurse. She's going to be working at this particular hospital for this period of time. Most of the time is contract for minimum 2 years, up to 5 years. So that's to the investor or to an apartment building, they know that that's a solid employment, and you shouldn't have any problem with those people paying their rent. Once people have arrived here, or even before, we'll have financial readiness classes. We'll have introduction classes to those people who are relocating to the U.S., just to give them an overview of life here. We work with several clients who are relocating from different parts of the world. Whether it's UK, I've helped people from Canada. I've helped people who are moving from state to state. Any potential Kenyan, any potential international. We've worked also with people who are coming from India, who work for oil and gas industry, because you know here in Texas, oil and gas is big. So we help any profession, anybody who is moving here. It's not only specifically to nurses.
What's your background?
I have a background in business. I did study business management in college. I graduated back in 2013.
Where originally in Kenya, or all that is here?
Here in US.
Here in US, okay.
Yes, in Kenya I had already started my college classes. I was in King's College Eldoret, Kenya Institute of Management. Yeah. So that's where I went, and then when I came to the US, I continued my classes in degree. I graduated, and I was able to start out with different careers here in the US, working at a call center. I did work for financial services, where we were selling insurance and retirement plans to soldiers. And then eventually I transitioned and I was able to work with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, which is a big car rental company in the US. Right after that, I decided to venture into real estate. After I saw the process when we were buying our personal house, and I was like, Elsa, you know what? I think this is a career for you. So I decided to venture into real estate, and I do not regret any decision that I made.
So you ventured into this from personal experience, purchasing a house.
Exactly.
You got it. That's amazing. What was your university again? Which university did you attend?
I graduated from University of West Georgia. So for you to be a licensed agent here in Texas, you have to do some classes. So I did classes online while working at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. So I was doing ile pole, you know. So I did, they have several classes. Some of them are self-study. Some of them you have to class in person, and some of them are online. So I did self-study pole too until when I was able to finish the classes. And then now you sit for the exam for you to be able to be licensed. There is state exam and there is national exam. So I did sit for my exam. That was back in 2017. And I was able to get my license. Right after that, then you're supposed to look for a broker to sponsor your license. So I started with the first broker, but now I'm on my second broker. I've been with them for over 5 years.
Where were you born? Primary school, high school, university? They want to see this Elsa. Ni kama sisi.
Yes. Mimi nilizaliwa Chepkoria. Chepkoria is in
which county?
Kaptagat,
Elgeyo Marakwet County.
Yes. So nilizaliwa Chepkoria. I was raised there. Nilienda shule Koptega Primary School. Right after that, I went to high school, which is Kesup High School. AIC Girls Kesup, which is past 10. And then afterwards, I went to King's College in Eldoret for 2 years before I came to the US. It's been a journey, but I don't regret any step that I took. At the end of the day, we have to remember that if you don't go for what your heart desires, you're letting yourself down. So if you've ever dreamt of doing something, make sure that you don't give up. The journey coming to the US, it was not easy. I was denied visa 2 times.
2 times.
And then the third time is when I was given my visa. And that was back then in 2012. I know everything's changed and it's been very tough right now, but you can imagine in 2012, they already denied me 2 times, but I didn't give up. I still wanted to try until when I was able to be given the visa to come to the US.
So Elsa, and then for you, you are self-employed and that's your daily work, being a real estate agent.
That is correct.
And apart from that?
I do real estate full-time. Every day I wake up, I have to plan my days from the beginning to the end. But also, Alex, let me tell you something else that we do besides helping people who are relocating. I was able to be a speaker on an event last year for a group of nurses who had relocated to come to the US. They were just doing a get-together so they can have memories together back home and kids play together and stuff like that. So I found out that one of the struggles that they have is once a nurse, maybe a spouse is a nurse, but the other individual is not a nurse, once they relocate to come to the US, they leave their job back home, they come here and they don't know what to do exactly. You might be a banker in Kenya, but when you come here to the US, being a banker is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
So what I decided to do is to have a mentorship program whereby I help the community realize that there's a lot of careers that's attached to real estate. I don't want to only sell your house, but I also want to help you, give you a fishing rod for those individuals who are interested. So if there's anybody who wants to be a real estate agent and they want mentorship program, I am willing to help anybody to get into it.
And there are those who probably at this juncture they're asking, so what type of a house can I acquire? How much could it be roughly? Maybe you can advise on that.
If you want to purchase a house here in the US, you have to, there's a process we have to follow. So you have to get pre-approval by a lender. So you get your pre-approval done. They tell you according to your credit profile, your income to debt ratio, this is how much you can qualify. Then after we get the pre-approval letter, we go house shopping. And then we guide you through the process. There is an appraisal that has to be done so that they can find out the value of the house. And then once all that we've finished all that process, now the bank will release the funds for you to be able to close on the deal. I've helped more than 150 people who are relocating. So far, I do have 37 nurses on the pipeline that we are working with. A couple of them have already been approved for the places that are coming to lease. And they've been happy so far because at the end of the day, remember, you're relocating to a new place, you don't know anybody, you don't know how to go about anything. And that's why we're coming in. We really want to be that solution and provide the help that they need so that they can settle here well.
Well done. And so your family, and how do you manage doing this and a family?
You know, when you're self-employed, one thing is a major factor, which is the support. Philip Biwott is my lovely husband that has been very supportive ever since I started this real estate career. He has been the one pushing me behind the scenes and really encouraging me and motivating me to keep running after my goals and what I really want to achieve. So without his support, it would be very difficult. Of course, we have our two kids, lovely kids, Ivan and Idalia. So we work together whereby he's able to fit in wherever I'm not available. Also, he has also is part of H-Town Royal Group. He's part of the company, he's the operations manager. So besides everything that we do pertaining real estate, Alex, we also love to give back to the community. So we do have a children's home back home in Kenya. It's called St. Joseph's Kipsaina Children's Home, who houses kids who are physically challenged. So we've recently gone in and we're trying to improve the school so that we can see it function to the maximum capacity. And so far we've had people volunteer and they donate money so that we can make life for these kids more comfortable. Besides that, I have to, of course, be part of the community here. So there's a family promise here in Conroe. They help people who are getting kicked out, just about to be homeless because of maybe changing circumstances. Maybe they lost their job, something changed. So they take them, they have a house, they take them with their kids, they house them for about 60 to 90 days as they get short-term courses or short-term training. And they help them to be placed in jobs so that at the end of the 90 days, they're able to go back, be on their own. They are empowered now and they have jobs. So that's what I love to do, to give back to my community.
Wow, yeah. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you again on Daring Abroad. And continue daring, Elsa, and your family in Texas.
Thank you very much, Alex.
Asante sana. Congratulations to Elsa for all she's been able to accomplish. We now take a short break. When we return,
being away from home, this facility brings us together as a community so that we can teach our children the value of where we have come from.
The role of the church in the diaspora through the eyes of Dr. Reverend Daniel Korir of Ushindi International Fellowship Church. Welcome back. We are still in Texas, and time now to look at the role of the church among the Kenyan community in the diaspora, and this is through the eyes of Reverend Dr. Daniel Korir of Ushindi International Fellowship Church in Dallas.
Sunday morning. Members of Ushindi International Fellowship Church have gathered for a time of praise and worship through song and dance.
We bless His wonderful name. We thank Him this morning.
Led by Dr. Daniel Korir, their senior pastor, the service runs as a typical Kenyan service. But this is not Kenya. Ushindi International Fellowship Church is based in North Richland Hills, Texas.
This is a church that we founded in 2012, and it just began like a small fellowship between a few families that used to go from house to house. And at some point in 2012, we started to go to small places in either in different people's houses, or we could go to an open place. And at some point, we felt like we were more of a church than more of a fellowship than anything. So we moved to a hotel, and then from a hotel, we ended up renting a small church as we kept growing. And in 2018, we decided to get a place of our own.
Praise the Lord, church. Bwana asifiwe.
It's such a wonderful place. It's an 11,000 square foot facility, and it is in a 6-acre property. And we count that as a blessing because we were not that big as a church at the time. So we moved in here in 2019. And in this facility, we have the main sanctuary, which you can see. And on the overflow, we have a fellowship hall. And on the other side, we have a nursery, baby nursery for the mothers who are nursing. And this is a facility that has everything that you could find in any place. State-of-the-art sound system. We are available on Facebook. We are available on YouTube. We are also on Instagram. Every Sunday service, we stream both on Facebook and on YouTube. On the other side, we have a 7,000 square foot facility as well that we use for Sunday school classes for both the young ones and all the way up to the teens.
He said, even those that don't have fathers, I will be a father to them. Psalm 68 and 5.
For about 6 years, Ushindi, which has the largest acreage of any Kenyan church in the US, has been based right here with numerous activities and community outreach programs geared towards enriching the lives of the Christian faithful.
Occasionally we have picnics, we have family days, we have Sunday school activities, we have lots of church events. We try to bring our church community together through activities, particularly over the weekends when everybody is available. We have a playing field. Our kids can come and play and do all sorts of things. This is actually the reason why we are here, because we believe that being away from home, this facility helps us to not only come together as a Kenyan culture, it brings us together as communities so that we can teach our children the value of where we have come from, that they have a heritage. Not only are they Americans, but they are also Kenyans by virtue of the heritage that we teach them. So this facility helps us to inculcate those values to our children.
In addition, Ushindi International Fellowship also engages in counseling, including biblical and premarital counseling, as well as helping newly relocated individuals acclimatize to life in the U.S.
We try to inculcate them into, induct them into the community, and we can connect them with families, we can connect them with the groups, we can connect them even with jobs. There are business people in our community that can offer, jobs for those people who are still new and trying to settle. So we are more like a safe landing ground, a soft landing ground for them as they try to adjust to American culture.
Currently, Reverend Dr. Daniel Korir stewards about 200 congregants, a service that is born out of love more than duty.
I am a chemistry professor, and a lot of times people would say, what is the relationship between chemistry and... But yes, there is a lot of connection between science and the Word of God, and I believe I have been placed in that place so that I can see the things from the wider perspective. Science can tell us more than what we see out there. Yeah. So chemistry as my main area has also opened my eyes into the bigger things that the Word of God teaches.
Yeah, you are bringing chemistry among people.
Yeah.
Speaking, yes.
Yes.
Yes, Reverend Dr. Daniel Korir is a teacher of the word and of the mind. He is employed as an assistant professor at the East Texas Baptist University. But the man of God is able to handle both through divine intervention.
The grace of God. The grace of God. I became a pastor when I was a graduate student. I believe at the time it was a lot more difficult to do schoolwork and do pastoral work. And much more at the time we were still quite young. A lot of structures were not in place. We did not have good leadership structures at the time. But somehow the grace of God was enough. We were able to withstand the challenges that we did at the time. And at the moment, even though I walk quite a distance away from home, I still find the grace of God to be sufficient for me to be there here and also to be able to do my work. And much more than that, technology has helped us a lot. We do Bible study on Zoom. We do our intercessory prayers on Zoom. So it kind of helps all of us to come to a common place, even though we are not physically present with each other. It is a calling. It's way more than a calling. And I don't think anyone would understand what it means to do your day job, 40 hours a week, and still be able to give your time to the church. And much more than that, there is also the family here, and so bringing all this together is more than the grace of God.
Another source for inspiration for the good reverend is his family.
My wife, Susan, is a nurse practitioner. We are blessed with a son, Nathaniel, who is now 7 years. A wonderful blessing. They are the joy of my life all the time, and without them, I wouldn't be here today.
Who would have thought that this son of Kericho and alumnus of Egerton would be thriving miles and miles away from his homeland? Well, according to the green card holder and postdoctoral training graduate from the University of Texas Health Science Center, it is easier said than done.
Those who come through green card do not feel like it is enough. There's people who succeed are the ones who came as students and they go through school and they are compelled to stay in school. But a lot of times, those who come through green card, they get satisfied and they don't want to promote themselves and get something better. Go to school, get some training, increase yourself, find something that can make your life better. I believe this country has potential for any one of us to be anything you want. Being satisfied with where you are will be your biggest detriment. It will prevent you from achieving your goals. And if you do not get satisfied with where you are, try to look for more, try to raise your standards, try to go higher, go to school, polish yourself, increase yourself in one way or the other. You will do great.
Reverend Dr. Daniel Correa is a testimony of what God can do in someone's life as long as you heed his calling and are faithful to your dreams. He attributes the success of the church from the support of Ushindi leadership, ministries, and the hundreds of members who give sacrificially. And this is his parting shot.
When you come to this country, you come with an open mind that you can be anything. This is a country that respects everyone. This is a country that honors every gift that you have. This is a country that can help you to achieve anything you want. So you could come as a lawyer and change to a different profession, whichever it is. And as you grow, you will realize that what your heart is, follow it, and I can guarantee you, you will succeed.
And that's how we wrap up the show. Remember, you can watch it again on our YouTube channel. That is Chams Media TV. And on behalf of my entire crew at Chams Media and our broadcasting partner NTV, many thanks for watching and see you again next week.